All right, guys, welcome back to A Gut Feeling, a very special podcast today because we are right about to start 2021. I know you guys have been waiting for it. If you're listening to this after, then great, because today we are talking about stopping the resolution to cut away from creating any more New Year's resolutions. Frankly, I'm over the cycle. I don't know about you. What it really does for me is it creates this sense of shame and guilt, as in the way that I was showing up was not good enough. And so now I have to start this rigorous diet or fresh start or new beginning or whatever it is. And there's millions of programs and different protocols and all the things that you can jump on. And yes, do I think they're good for motivation? Absolutely. Do I believe that they create long-term wellness and that success you're actually looking for from the inside out? No. And here's the difference why. So, okay, let's say, this year, 2020, has been hard on you. Obviously, it's been hard on everybody. And so you are carrying a lot of stress from it. And then you get to a place where you start to eat poorly, or you're down on yourself because you're not doing as much, or you're depressed about everything that's going on, or whatever is coming up for you in 2020. So just visualize what came up for you in 2020 that is centered around your body or your mind. Did you create a healthier relationship with it, or did you create a not so healthy relationship with it? Where do you feel like you are right now? And so all of that stuff that we carried from 2020 into right now we're like, okay, 2021, this is our year, and we're going to do all this stuff. And we do it all in January. And then February comes around and we stop, or we trail off, or the motivation isn't there as much. And what that really does is creates this vicious cycle of, I'm not good enough. Now I need to do all of this to be good enough. And then when you do all of it, it was good enough for the time being, but we didn't really heal or go into the root cause of what we're really talking about here, which is creating a healthy relationship with your body and your mind and food. Those are the most important things when it comes to actually having long-term success with wellness, or healing your body, or losing weight, or healing your hormones, or whatever you're trying to do. Okay, so I want to stop the resolution. Who's with me? Who feels like we want to break free from these resolutions and start a whole new way of looking at wellness? Start a whole new way of looking at your body, okay? You can guilt yourself all you want into the diet, but I always say, what happens on day 31, right? You do it for 30 days or 60 days or whatever, and then you're back to those old habits. And like I said before, the truth is the long-term sustainability comes from two things: self-worth and self-love, which are basically synonymous, but to me, they're a little bit different. Believing you're worthy of something or believing you deserve something is different than saying, I love myself. But as in saying they're synonymous, what I'm saying is that they come together in a package. They're a package deal. They're like twins. We need to have both to create these long-term habits and the long-term wellness, so that we're not conscious or consistently on a roller coaster, a vicious cycle over and over of diet, off the diet, on the diet, off the diet, on the cleanse, off the cleanse. Unless you're doing it to specifically heal an ailment, obviously that's a little bit different. So who wants to be stuck on this roller coaster forever? Personally, I used to be stuck on this roller coaster. My body never did what I wanted it to. I always felt like it was failing me. It was never healing fast enough. It was always hurting. I was always in pain. And I truly believed this. I believed, like, I just am not going to heal. This is what it's going to be. So I want you guys to break out your journals. And if you're driving, just mentally think this, okay? Break out your journal and think about 2020. Think about where you are right now and write down this. Number one, what is my relationship with my body? Okay, take some time to really think about it. Do I believe that my body is capable of healing? Do I treat my body like a brand new Ferrari off the lot? Do I give my body what it needs? And do I have a good relationship with it? Number two, what is my relationship with food? Do I allow food to control me? Do I let food be, my what I go to for comfort with stress? Am I allowing food to nourish me or to be, my weakest link? And number three, which is really, really important and kind of cuts back to the self-worth and the self-love, is do I believe I deserve to heal? In my line of work, what I do, I see a lot of women wanting to heal. They're already on a very healthy, they're already on a very healthy path. They're already eating a lot of good foods. They're maybe taking a ton of supplements. Maybe they even have stress coping mechanisms in place. But at the end of the day, they self-sabotage all the time because they don't actually believe they deserve to heal. So they get so far with their wellness, and then they take 2 steps back, and then they get so far, and then they take 2 steps back. Okay, so now that you're finished with your journaling prompts, or you've started writing them down so you can work on them tonight, I want you to look at what you wrote and really sit with it. Sit with how you feel about your body and where you're going to go with this new year. Now, if you feel a certain way about your body and then you say, now I need a whatever 30-day jump start or a 30-day diet, or I'm going to cut out all carbs, or I'm going to, go completely off the rocker and be completely opposite what I'm used to doing and do something very drastic to get myself into shape. Is this in alignment with your body? Is this in alignment with what you need to heal, with what you truly need to heal? Now, I know that most motivation, especially for women, comes from losing weight. But you can't body shame or food shame your way into losing weight. You have to actually look at the body, look at the root cause, and heal what you have going on. So this is why I created my 4-month mentorship. It's a little bit different than a traditional diet. It's a little bit different than a traditional way to lose weight. Yes, do all my clients lose weight? Of course, but it's not the main focus of our program, because when we focus on losing weight, we lose sight of what our body truly needs to heal, of where the root cause of the problems are coming from, be it the gut or the hormones or stress. Stress is the biggest one from this past year that is contributing to body pain, digestive issues, hormonal imbalance. So we have to look at those things first. If we don't commit ourselves to looking at those things and we just focus on losing 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, and we push our body faster or further than it's willing to go, then we're actually getting further away from our goals. You are becoming farther away from your goal because you're trying to force your body to do something it's not ready to do. Does that make sense? So, like I said, in my 4-month programs, we do things different. We do not focus on weight loss, but how we do it is we dig into the body to look at where the root cause is coming from. We look at your health history, what you've done in the past, your ancestry, what's gone on in your family genetically. And we start to break away some of the patterns you created as a child. I remember some of the things that, I think about when I was a child is that I was doing that were unhealthy was when we would go to the grocery store, we'd always eat in the grocery store. And I didn't realize that was a bad pattern until I grew up and I was stressed and I was running around and I get to the grocery store and I'd mindlessly eat whatever bag of chips I picked up and stress eat, and realize that this is a bad pattern that I've gotten into, where I can run around and eat food at the same time and have it not, and think that it wouldn't affect my body in some way. So it's about mindfully eating and looking at those patterns that we developed as a child and try to unfold them and break the patterns and getting into where we need to be. Now, in my programs, most of my clients meet bi-weekly, and this is done specifically by design because it gives you time to actually create the habit. It takes about 10 days for your palate to change and about 21, 22 days to create a new habit. So somewhere in between lies 2 weeks, and we can focus on 1 or 2 recommendations and then work on those, get them ingrained in our brain, create the habit, and then move on to the next habit or breaking the next pattern or uncovering the next layer of your healing. If I were to throw the whole program at you on the first day, well, what's happened before when in the beginning when I started training people was it didn't work. So I had to figure out a new way to help people to make change, to create real change that would sustain inside of a modern lifestyle. And that is peeling back the layers with recommendations bi-weekly to help your body throughout the healing process and not pushing everything on someone at once. It just doesn't work, especially when you're changing habits that are completely different than you're used to. I mean, breaking a habit is really hard. You guys know this. I've talked about breaking sugar or going gluten-free or, changing your morning routine. These things take time, and we have to give them gentle care. We have to give our body and our mind gentle care to get it there. Okay, so 2021. Let's begin right here together, all right? First of all, raise your right hand. Let's all take an oath to say we are not going to do a New Year's resolution this year. Raise your right hand. I will not make a New Year's resolution this year, okay? And furthermore, beyond that, let's say not only am I not making a resolution this year, but I will allow my body to lead me and guide me to what I need to do for my best healing, okay? I wake up in the morning, I do my best, and what can I do better the next day? And what can I do better the next day, and so on and so forth, without forcing it, without pushing your body to do more than it can do, all right? So here we go, 2021, let's get back to the journal and uncover what we wrote before in a new pattern, because we're going to break the pattern and we're going to look at things a new way, all right? So break the journal back out. Number 1, how do I want to feel in my body 2021, okay? Or even just in the coming weeks. We don't have to look at everything as a whole year or so far away. It can be tomorrow, today. How do I want to feel in my body today? How do I want to feel in my body tomorrow? And so on and so forth. What does it look like? This is still question number 1, by the way. What does that look like if I feel that way in my body? So if I often, if you often go right away to, I want to lose weight, like I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, great. But what does that feel like in your body? How will things change for you? Will you get to that happiness if you're 5, 10, 15 pounds lighter? Or will you still be unhappy, but just skinny and cute? That's what we're really trying to uncover here is what is the weight that you have on your body that you're carrying? Where does it come from? How do we stay in the cycle? Okay. How do I want to feel in my body? That's still question number 1. Question number 2, how do I want to feel about food? What kind of hold does food have over you? Okay, so when I was stress eating a lot and food had a big hold over me, I would go through a vicious cycle of waking up and not feeling good about what I ate the day before. So then I would try to eat less or super, super restrictive or very healthy. And what would happen by the end of the day is I would end up going to the grocery store and buying all of this stuff and binging out. And thus the cycle keeps creating. Once I was able to understand how I wanted to feel about food, how I wanted food to make me feel energized, happy, nourished, abundant, right? Then I understood that when I was doing that, that food was keeping me stuck in this cycle. Does that relate? Can you relate to that? So how do I want to feel about food, and how do I want food to make me feel is question number 2. And then question number 3, the big one, the big ringer here is what is standing in my way? What is standing in my way? Just repeat that to yourself over and over. What is standing in my way? So if you don't know the answer to the last question, I'll just give you the answer. It's you. You are the one standing in your way. It's not your work or your stress or your family or your friends or, the commercial for the ho-hos or the candy aisle on the way out from CVS or whatever it is. The age-old excuses of I don't have time or it's the holidays or I have this function or so on and so forth cannot penetrate you when you have an everlasting love for yourself. Okay? The excuses that we make or the things that we're exposed to cannot penetrate you when you have an everlasting love for yourself, for your body and your mind. Okay? So really connect with those questions, and you don't have to rush through them. Take your time. Maybe it's an eternal journey throughout all of 2021. Maybe you're answering those questions for the entire year, and that's okay. There were questions at the beginning of 2020 that I'm still figuring out and still answering for myself, because it's not it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a marathon of life, and we're uncovering layers, we're peeling them back, we're uncovering ourselves, we're breaking past patterns and habits. It doesn't happen overnight. Somebody asked me, actually my trainer asked me this morning, shout out to Lo, she's amazing. And she said, when did you start all of this? Like, when did you know this journey? How long have you been doing, low sugar and these different types of things? And I said, 18 years. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning every day. I'm still listening to podcasts, to other people's podcasts, not just my own. I'm still doing new protocols and trying different things to find out like what feels good for my body. It's not one diet fits all, or everything's perfect after I get through this 30 days, whole 30, whatever it is. That's not where it ends. And it's also not where it starts. It's about uncovering things little by little and having these options for yourself, creating these habits and these daily rituals that keep you feeling good, that keep you coming back to those questions. How do I want to feel about my body or in my body? How do I want to feel about food, and how do I want food to make me feel? And what is standing in my way? So when you get to this place of self-love and self-worth, quality becomes of the highest importance. It's not so much that I don't have a, little Mexican fiesta or a little fun on Christmas or whatever it is. It's not so much about that. It's creating balance and understanding food quality, what we allow into our body when we're trying to heal. Okay. So I know I've said this before, but if you guys haven't heard it, when I knew that I needed to go gluten-free, I thought, let me go through the McDonald's drive-thru. I was 20 years old. Let me go through the McDonald's drive-thru and get a burger, no bun. Now I'm super healthy. You couldn't catch me at a McDonald's to save my life today. But back then, that seemed like the right thing to help me. And you know what? It did. And it was step one. That's it. And then step 2 was buying better quality meat. And then step 3 was engaging with farmers and understanding the meat and knowing where it was coming from. And step 4 was even reducing my animal protein intake and creating more space for vegetables and high alkaline foods. And that's the exploration of it. It's just steps, it's phases. So the theme of today clearly is working on your relationship with yourself, self-love tactics. So I'm going to give you 3 self-love tactics so you can start now, so you can begin your 2021 healing in a very gentle way and see what comes up for you. All right, so the 3 self-love tactics. Number 1, what you say to yourself, what you say to your body knows, your body thinks, and it acts off of what you say. So if I say, I'm fat, I have bad skin, I don't feel good, I'll never heal, I'm tired, I feel bad, what do you think that my body's going to feel? All of those things. Now, if I say, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm strong, my skin is healing, my body is healing, my gut is healing, these things start to change how my body feels. If I said to my dog every day, "You're a bad dog, I hate you," and hit it on the nose all the time and told it was bad, told her she was bad, don't you think it would create this relationship between us that was very resistant? She would start to get nervous to come around me. She would start to not feel as connected to me. The same thing happens to your body. So I want you to start every day. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm healing. Write it down, repeat it, put it on your mirror. Do whatever you have to do to remind yourself. You are beautiful, you are awesome just the way you are, and you are healing. Number 2, spend an hour a day in the quiet. You can break it up into increments if you want, but we need to be still to really gain clarity of what we need in our life. Meditation, breath work, reading, walking quietly, no music, no headphones, just listening to the sounds of nature, laying down on a bed and closing your eyes and manifesting or visioning what you want your life to look like in a positive way. And when those negative thoughts pop in, just picture them floating right back out and bring in positivity to your life. Spending time being still is so important, especially in this stressful lifestyle, stressful time, everything. So meditation, breath work, reading, walking, find some peace in a day. Okay. Number 3, journal your emotions daily. When there's so much going on in the head, it can be hard to figure out what we need to do clearly. So then we ask other people, and then we ask more people, and we ask those people, and we ask other people. And then we get to a place where we're not authentically making a decision or choosing a path for ourselves the way we want, or even speaking the way we want to. We're taking on too much from other people. When you journal your thoughts and emotions daily, you were able to think more clearly because it comes out of your head and onto the paper, and you're able to trust your own intuition more and able to find your path more clearly so that you can connect with your body and your mind and food more clearly. You can try Dr. Joe Dispenza's method, where he checks in with himself at the end of the day. So what he says is, at the end of the day, what did I do right today? And what can I do better tomorrow? Just like I said in the beginning, this is the best way to be when it comes to creating a new relationship with yourself and your body and food in this new year, step by step, layer by layer, without putting guilt and shame and forcing yourself to do anything that you're not ready to do. Now, when I work with clients, I can see if they're ready to do something or not because I'm on the outside. I can clearly see it. If you're not working with someone, it can be hard to clearly see when you're ready for something. That's why these 3 tactics help so much, because it gets you clear. It helps you understand where your body is and where it needs to be. So, are you guys with me in stopping the resolution and stepping into your power? Your body's power to clearly make decisions for yourself, to clearly help yourself heal, getting out of your way so that you are able to be your best guide. Now, there's a reason there's health coaches. If you feel stuck in where you're at, then I want you to reach out for help. If it's not from me, there are hundreds of thousands of coaches out there. Try to be clear at which one shows up on your path. If you're interested in choosing me as your guide through your transition to this new type of lifestyle where you're healing from the inside out and not just focusing on the weight loss, you can do one of 2 things. You can first head to my website, jaclynreneewellness.com, and there you can book a discovery call. It's a free 30-minute call with me where we can discuss which plan or program is right for you to move forward. And then typically I recommend my 4-month mentorship, which is really amazing. That's number 2, where you can go to my website and check out all about the 4-month mentorship, the 4-month gut makeover, and learn more about how we uncover and peel back the layers. And you can check out all of my plans and programs right there on JaclynReneeWellness.com. So I'm very excited for you guys for this new journey. I hope this information has been helpful. If it has, please share the episode, subscribe to my podcast, and if you feel called to, leave me a review. And in the meantime, happy healing, happy 2021, and many, 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 many blessings to you guys.